back to another episode of Honkai Star Rail. I'm going to do something short for today. It was just checking if there are going to be new passes in here in the store, and they are in 3 days, so that's good, I guess, in the sense that at least in 3 days or so, I mean even less, right? Because there's going to be a new pass from the how's called the simulated universe for Monday, so that's a thing. So a little bit of the plans that I have for the pooling, pretty much. So I would really like to have topas, and especially I'm also interested in when I can, but I'm thinking it's going to be a pack dream because I'm even more interested in actually getting series like I know maybe my choice is not the best one, but I have just like poured a lot of speed into series, so it just seems at this point to be like the best option. Although the current icon that I mean currently Silly has the hair tag hunts icon, and it's already superposed to 5, but it's just like I do not know. I would really prefer to have like one of silly. I know like the usual idea is to go for the idle ones, but I was saying back on yesterday's live stream, it was in Spanish though, that I do not feel that the series idolons are that game changing. Probably like the ones that do the most are just the ones that increase the skill levels and things like that, increases. I just think there are some characters whose idolons are that game breaking. There are others that are pretty well done, like for example Kafka idolons. I haven't ever checked the idolons from Blade, but I guess they might be good. Also, for example, the ones for Locha, I really think those are pretty good. I was checking right now the ones from Jingyu, and I mean, from the ones from Jingle are also quite broken. I feel also the ones from Bushran are also broken, and I mean broken in the sense that they allow for like very simple, straightforward, huge amount of combos with these stats, pretty much. Like for example, Fusion just allows you to just pour all the HP into Fusion and just look forward to using the ultimate, and that's it. And like for example, in the case of Jinglu, pretty much it allows you to ignore, to not really care at all about having like crit rate, and just pouring everything into the crit damage. So you really do not care about having like crit rate, pretty much. Just some baseline is fine. You just go everything into the crit damage, because after all you aren't even that interested with Jingy to actually increase that much the attack, because after all it's going to get like that super move from the health from the rest of the team. So even like going for the attack is not that important. So really you just care about pretty much having the max crit damage on Jingy, and that's pretty much it. And even like the traces already give a lot of crit damage, so that's another thing. And on top of that, the traces also give speed and also give health. So I just think that they really allow for a lot of stuff. And like for example, she's ice character, so also like the ice armor is also fine for her. So that's just looking at that. She's going to have guaranteed the crit pretty much, so you can just go for one of the ornaments that just build on top of the crit pretty much. And low chiming is like his idols just make him healer, support, and tank at the same time. So yeah. So before going into this one, I'm going to finally upgrade fusion. So this would make the full quantum team to finally be on its highest level. Right now, all of the quantum characters are at least 70 ascended. So so Cindy is 80, Silver Wolf 75 already, Xingxue is 75, Link 70, and Fusion 70. So there's that. Their Lacons are a mess, their traces are a mess, their relics are improving. Sorry about that. So the relics. So pretty much the only one that is going well is Silly right now. Yeah, Silver Wolf a little bit of a mess, but it's somewhere in there. Xingxue, there's stats missing. Actually, the relics for Lynx are quite good. I like them. So we even have the healing boost and all of that. So this is working fine. It's working fine. Also, I finally made it to have like most of the relics, like 5-star relics for fusion. I think I'm going to change the ornament. I'm going to make it the other one. Although I'm still, yeah, so I'm really thinking on changing the ornament for this type in here. Although I'm not entirely sure, because now I just saw that this increases the crit rate but not the health. So this is going to increase like the ultimate by 12%, and the other one is just maybe. So now I do not even know if I'm really going to go for that. For that change. Like for example, also in here, I'm doubting if I want this to be health or if I want speed. I'm not entirely sure. Here is again health. I do not know. I mean, like for example, it could be crit damage, crit rate. I'm not entirely sure what I want there. For this one, I do not know if I want health or if I would like to have energy. The energy rate. energy regeneration rate. So that's a thing. Like for example, this probably just going for health should be it. And again, I do not know if I want to like change it for this one. Not with the one with the pants, but yeah. That's the thing. But at least there's something. Probably the next character that I'm thinking of leveling to 70 is going to be Kafka. Just because I already worked on its materials. So just for that to not go to waste. Besides that, I also have felt that I really want to play the Bronya Sydney. I mean, we are almost half a year in, and I haven't been able to do that, but okay, that may come sometime. And also I want to play Clara, and probably once I'm done with that, industrial line, pretty much of characters, probably the next one is going to be Sushan. Sushan and Lulai. And after that, Jingu. And if we are able to get Topaz or what they been, maybe in 6 months I'll be playing her. But you never know. Also, another reason why I really want to get another reason why I'm looking for this one is because at least here we have this light cone for Nihility, and I need a Nihility light cones. That's also a thing. Although you never know, maybe I'm going to get some of the other stuff, which would be bad. Also here we have an achievement. Well, I finally defeated the corrosion cavern. Yeah, that was that. And also I already played a little bit of the events, but I'm pretty much just doing them on Spanish because they take forever. And I mean, if it's already kind of like a little bit of a stress that you wouldn't like get from or imagine that you have from live stream, and I mean, well, I'm a noob, right? Here with streaming, and strictly speaking, I'm streaming from a toaster, which I mean, I do not know if that makes it more or less, but I mean, this is not my a principal responsibility. So here I'm just having fun. Maybe if this was my my way of living, yeah, probably this would be more stressful. I do not know. I mean, grading is not exactly stressful, but it's tiring. That probably is like the word, and it's more tiring than this. So I do not know what it's better, stress or yeah. So I'm going all over the place. Nevertheless, I made a mistake, and I started one of the companion. Yeah, one of the companion ones. So one of the companion missions. So I just want to do one of them already. I'm not entirely sure which one I need to go for. I think I need to go right now to talk to Dan, so I think it's nice. So I'm going to be doing that one. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for this live stream. I'm just getting in touch with the companion missions, or at least with this companion mission. That should be the same. And at the end, I'll do a pull for series icon. Why do I miss? Okay, I'm still missing a tutor in this one. Probably Topaz is going to be good after all. It's going to have a news. And not that. Okay. Of course, if we get Topaz. That really depends on how much I'm going to be using for the Lycon. If I lose 50-50, and if then when we go for Topaz, I lose 50-50 again. So yeah, but okay, at least we are going to probably get 2 5-star things.
What is it? Do you need something? There's no signature, and it doesn't mention a time or place. Looks like whoever sent this expects me to remember. Unfortunately, I'm going to disappoint them. Thanks, but I don't even know where to start. Let me hold on to the letter. Anything related to Don Feng's past should be handled with care.
¿Me lo toma muy en serio? Now I return to Spanish. This is going to be a mess. When I do the live stream in Spanish, I speak in English, so y ahora, now what? Okay, so this is still the threat or like the prophecy of Blade. I don't know what to make about it.
Just as I thought, there was more than met the eye. Letting her leave first was a wise choice. I can't put her in danger again because of this. But if he didn't send the letter, then who did? Maybe maybe I should make a trip to the seat of divine foresight. I need to ask Jing Yuan about the Stellaron hunters.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What? This is not going to be. Oh, okay, now it makes a little bit more sense. Oh well. I cannot complain. Maybe I can. Well, for those that do not know, okay, so this is fine. So that's 61, 41. So yeah, this is going to work fine. The attack is a little bit low, but that should be fine also. Locha and EMC. What is MC? Have good health. Yeah. Okay, it's not that bad. Yeah, I just want to use her. So yeah, about this I may complain because at least I mean, just bragging that up. I mean, probably here most of the audience already have like the E6 Jinglu, but yeah, sure, why not? I want to brag about me having E1 or one of the
After all this time away from the Lafu, the seat of divine foresight has only become more hostile. It's quite reassuring. Relax. You needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just reminiscing about the old days. However, I never thought Jing Yuan would send you to accompany me. It would seem our fates are intertwined.
I've got my work cut out for me today. Well, if it isn't Don Hung.
Greetings. I need to speak to the general about something.
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept full responsibility. They can deduct my next 100 years' salary if they like.
That won't be necessary. The Cloud Knights were doing their duty. I should be apologizing for any damage I caused myself.
You came at a bad time. The General is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able to meet with him today. But he did leave a message. Don Hung, do you recognize the person on the steps?
No. If the General isn't available, I'll come back another day.
You don't remember her? I see. I suppose the memories of your previous life really were wiped clean after the rebirth. That is Jing Liu, the previous sword champion of the Xianzhou Luofu. She was the closest friend of Imbibitor Lune, your previous incarnation. She was also the General's master. According to records of wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance. Not even the feather guards of the Wing Weaver, the father wolf of the Borazin, or the gigantic mecha beast could withstand a single strike from her. She's a renowned legend. However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame that even a hero like her wasn't able to break free of Mara. It is said that in the end, Jing Liu lost her sanity and slaughtered anyone in sight. She was deemed a criminal and fled to outer worlds. With her powers, you'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. For some reason, she arrived on the Luofu with a suspect disguised as a traveling merchant and said she wanted to turn herself in. Her surrender came with one condition, that she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel to Scale Gorge Waterscape and meet with her old friends one last time. I can't believe Jing Yuan actually agreed. Before he left, he ordered us to accompany Jing Liu during her last day on the Luofu. We're hosting an honored guest. We're escorting a criminal.
Imbibitor Lune, you're here. Since you traveled all this way, why don't you come and talk with me? Or should I call you by your name in this lifetime, Don Hung?
Okay.
When I left the Xianzhou, I heard they took away your scales and horns, forced you into a hatching rebirth, and detained you in the shackling prison. I thought Imbibitor Lune had been wiped from this world. But then I returned to the Luofu and watched as you parted the sea. After all these years, it was a magnificent sight to behold.
The life of Imbibitor Lune ended. I stand before you, a completely different person.
I understand. The sins of a past life should be forgiven after rebirth. Now you are a nameless, traveling across the galaxy. But can anyone really bid farewell to their past? If my guess is correct, the preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end and hoped for the Imbibitor Lune's resurrection. That is why they tampered with the molting rebirth and turned you into what you are now.
You're not here to reminisce on old times. Tell me why you're here.
You didn't hear? That Videodora girl explained it clear as day. I returned to the Lawfu so I could surrender myself to the Alliance and atone for my sins. I did, however, have one request before the trial. I asked to be given a single day to go and see old friends and to fulfill promises I made long ago. Jing Yuan has always been an understanding person. He heard that you would be coming and agreed to my request.
So, you're the one that mailed the letter to the Express.
That's right.
The sea's depths conceal no stone, and dragons' breaths reveal the moon. The scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape is truly as magnificent as the poems describe. But as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this, General?
Holding you in the shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth. For security purposes, we will be performing your trial here.
I do not get the logic, but okay.
For security purposes. I suppose it's not my security you're talking about.
The Stellaron's descent, the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection, the Destruction Emanator's impersonation of the Amicassator.
I still cannot believe that this was a word made by the authors. Let me hold you.
According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, you arrived on the Lawfu with a group of merchants, but didn't make a single trade during your stay. Your departure coincided with the day the calamities took place. You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Now you claim that you are responsible for the Stellaron crisis and wish to surrender yourself.
What happened? So after all, it was Locha who wrote this Stellaron?
Your behavior truly is puzzling. I can't seem to piece together your motive.
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. I admit I did have my own agenda for entering the shackling prison, but in the end, I found that the Lawfu did not possess what I was looking for. It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The galaxy is a vast place, but I am merely a wanderer. It would be silly of me to think that I could outrun the Alliance.
Merely a wanderer. You're too modest, Locha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the Eternity Fortress and the Shroud Veil Star Zone?
Okay, but now what happened?
Or must I utter that tongue twister of a name?
Well, they don't call you the Divine Foresight for nothing, General.
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research, or this conversation would have been quite dry.
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you looking to defend me and clear my name of suspicion?
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave crime. According to protocol, you are to be held on the Xianzhou Shuling for a joint trial before the 10 Lords Commission and the 7 Arbiter Generals. At present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape. It will be the last view of the Law Fu you ever lay eyes on.
She told me that the High Cloud Quintet once gathered and feasted here hundreds of years ago. The unparalleled sword techniques of your master, the mesmerizing cloud hymn magic of Imbibitor Luné Dan Feng, the artful piloting skills of Bai Heng, the divine weapons crafted by the Juming artisan Ying Xing, and the unmatched stratagem of the general. The 5 of you vanquished evil from the world, creating legendary tales in your wake. Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever, and the High Cloud Quintet disbanded as each of you went your separate ways. You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here, but not for security purposes. You wish to discuss things that shouldn't be overheard. You wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now. Your master, Jing Liu.
We can head out now. I would like to visit a few places from my memories, enjoy a glass of wine, and reminisce about the good times.
Have you mistaken yourself for a tourist?
I would make a wonderful tourist. Lower your guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance, and I will keep my word. Besides, your general has already agreed to my request. Imbibitor Luné, you must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer, regardless of whether you're still interested in your previous life. Accepting my letter means that you've accepted my invitation.
Lead the way.
Where should we start? Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first, or to the Artisanship Commission? So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. when the people of the Cienjo live to be more than 1,000 years old. Each day is like carrying the weight of a mountain through an interminable maze.
How hard is it to choose a destination? We're going to Stargazer Navalia. Problem solved.
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia it is.
If it's star skiffs you wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate. Why did we come all the way here?
Young man, have you ever heard of Baihung, the Foxian pilot?
Baihung. I think I've seen that name somewhere before.
Okay, so change of scene. So we do not know the name, but we kind of
Let
know.
the noble High Elder drown the enemies in rain. We just need a watch from the sky, I presume?
Imbibiter Lunae, if memories are returning to you, share them.
I think she was one of Imbibiter Lunae's comrades.
She was a comrade and friend to both Imbibiter Lunae and all of us. Well, that's all in the past now. The reason we came to Stargazer Navalia is because I wanted to pay tribute to her here.
Huh? You mean the Foxian soul-soothing ceremony?
Yes, the sending off of a star skiff. It represents the voyage of the deceased into the stars. Due to circumstances beyond my control, I never had the chance to bid farewell to her. It is something I have regretted to this day. As for procuring a star skiff, I know they can be manufactured here, but I know nothing of the process.
I see. Follow me. I don't know anything about manufacturing star skiffs either. But getting these machines to work shouldn't be too hard. Careful. There are still Stellaron spirits lurking.
Stand down.
Do you know who I am? This big diamond! It's all yours! Time to twirl!
It's time.
I won't break! How appropriate!
I'm not sure what happened there, why...
Danger.
I mean, it's recorded, right? But something tried to happen here, right? I do not know why.
Careful. There's still Stellaron spirits lurking around.
No need to worry about the two of us. Tedious.
Do you know who I am? This big diamond! It's all yours! Time to twirl!
Eternal sleep is nothing.
And return!
Time to twirl!
It's time.
You chose the wrong enemy.
Time to twirl!
Yeah, maybe there was some biome there, and I just like broke it.
We've arrived. All ship production in Stargazer Navalia starts here. Into the device. The vessel used to cultivate starskiff seeds will be activated, and a ship will appear in the skyport soon after. I remember now. I've seen Bai Hung's name in books before.
You like to read? I couldn't tell.
Hey, I don't read much, but the general forced me to finish a bunch of ancient volumes during my training. I remember one called Views of the Universe from a Star Skiff. The author's name was Bai Hung.
That's right. Bai Hung was the one who wrote that travelogue.
It was actually really interesting. 90% of it was about starskiff crashes on different worlds and dangerous situations. It also had records of local species and ecosystems. I remember thinking, how could an ace pilot crash land her starskiff so many times? Then I realized that every time, she made the best of the situation and got back alive. Her luck really was out of this world.
Indeed. Her luck always astonished us. Whenever she piloted a mission, you could almost guarantee a narrow escape from the jaws of some abundance behemoth, or a miraculous return from behind enemy lines. Very few star skiffs she piloted were able to return to port in one piece. The folks at the Skyfaring Commission secretly referred to her as the Star Skiff Killer. She also possessed an uncanny ability to predict future events, inauspicious ones at least. Every ill omen that came out of her mouth would sure enough come true. Very few Cloud Knights had the courage to accompany her on missions. However, when it came to surviving, her fortunes were incredible. Even in the worst situations imaginable, she was always able to turn the tide. Luck is a type of strength, after all. I hope that this ship, built for the Star Skiff Killer, will also be able to return to the stars.
Ha! That'll do it. The Star Skiff assembly line has been activated. star skiff will take shape and enter the skyport. Let's go wait for it there. It won't be long.
Thank you, young man. After being away from the Lafu for so long, I can finally say farewell to you.
So, what happened to Baihung in the end?
In the end, I do not think the details are necessary. We are here today to commemorate her. In Bibiter Lunae, do you still remember the battle against Shuhu?
Did Gan Feng fight alongside you?
Yes, the High Elder was held in higher regard. The Cloud Knights became wary after learning of Danfeng's imminent arrival. General Tang Shao called for me to guarantee the safety of the troops. But Baihung didn't care about any of that. She believed that the High Elder was mortal and no different from the soldier next to her. You ran a fair share of errands for her when she was still around. Let me refresh your memory. During that battle, Baihung, being the headstrong girl that she was, managed to exhaust the luck that was bestowed upon her by the Rainbow Arbiter. She charged ahead and shattered the enemy's defenses, allowing the Xianzhou soldiers to break through Shuhu's sanguinary abyss and awaken you from your dragon's delirium. She was not able to walk out of that fight. We all shoulder a debt that we will never be able to repay. For the Cloud Knights, giving up one's life on the battlefield is an honor. But that wasn't something you believed in Bibiter Lunae. You couldn't accept that Baihung was gone. Instead of leaving her to eternal rest, you decided to... You made a mistake that can never be undone. There is no need to respond in Bibiter Lunae. Your answer is no longer important. And now, I will send off this star skiff. This was a gift handmade by him, though he never got the chance to give it to you in person. I'm sorry it took so long for me to find it. Only by bringing it to you will my nightmares be calmed. I will fulfill what you asked of me. I will keep my word, even if it requires me to cut down the stars in the sky. Let's go. The artisanship commission is next. harbors resurrection, the land has been crawling with abominations. Even the Artisanship Commission's prized creation furnace is hanging on by a thread.
The crisis happened too suddenly. All the craftsmen and apprentices fled. Only a single master craftsman was left to hold the line until reinforcements arrived. That's how the creation furnace was saved.
Interesting. Stubborn beyond valuing his own life. That reminds me of an extremely arrogant acquaintance. If he were to see the chaos of the Artisanship Commission today, he would burst into laughter at the Cienjo's incompetence.
What's that supposed to mean? What's wrong with saving your own life and waiting for the Cloud Knights to arrive?
And yet where were the Cloud Knights when danger was at the door? From what I heard, it was a group of Outworlders that came to the rescue.
The Luofu's delves are big places. Besides, some of the troops were deployed to the Yao Qing's campaign. The Cloud Knights were spread thin. It was impossible to guard everywhere at once.
Young man, why don't we continue our previous contest? Show me whether the sword techniques you are so proud of have improved.
You just want me to do all the work. You think I'm gonna grant endless requests for a criminal?
You go on ahead this time. We'll meet up at the creation furnace.
Why did you send him away?
It is of no importance. But you and I haven't had a decent contest in ages.
I don't plan on fighting.
I'm not asking you to point your spear at me. Could it be that the abominations here aren't enough to motivate you? Even after your rebirth, your moves and techniques haven't changed one bit.
When I move, it's
like you never forgot.
All will be revealed. In the lunar flame.
Later.
Time to twirl!
Let's settle this.
Come on already. What took you so long this time?
Don't get anxious, Imbibitor Lunae. We have all the time in the world.
Let's wait and see.
The moon shines on truth.
Don't think about running.
This spear still recognizes you as its master. Imbibitor Lunae. Do you know who crafted it for you? Soon to be departed.
It's been with me ever since my exile. I don't remember when I started wielding it.
Lance at the ready.
Time to twirl!
revealed. In a lunar flame. Blade fodder.
You chose the wrong end.
What are you looking at? Time to twirl!
I'm on guard. Not a scratch.
Honored to meet me.
Lance at the ready.
A miracle. Receive divinity.
Tedious. I'm on guard.
Mortality gains forever.
What are you looking at?
Ready for death? You can continue to convince yourself that you are merely the reincarnation of Dan Feng and have nothing to do with his sins. And you can keep insisting that you have forgotten everything. But you cannot run from combat, Dan Heng. Your spearmanship is identical to Imbibitor Lunay's. Combat is like smelting, purging the impurities with burning flames and exposing a person's true nature. Those are the words of the one who made Cloudpiercer for you. Do you remember? Out of all of us, you were the closest to him. It was strange, really, to see someone so arrogant get along with someone so proud.
Okay, that last word is interesting.
I'd rather leave this world in a blaze than live until the end of time. I will let all of the Xianzhou know that a brief moment of my life is worth more than their long and meaningless lives. Yingxing.
You still remember his name. When he was but a child, he swore to take revenge on the abominations. That's what drove him to travel across the stars to the Xianzhou to receive training. When I first met him, he wasn't even as tall as my sword. But he was boasting about mastering all the crafts of the Artisanship Commission by the time he was 100 years old. The little brat was no less arrogant than the High Elder. At first, I wasn't too fond of his defiant nature. But when we met again, he was able to craft weapons that astonished the master craftsman. He even snatched the Artisanship Commission title of Furnace Master. Unfortunately, the Alliance would never allow a short-life species to run the Artisanship Commission. He was only able to prove his worth alongside us outcasts in the end.
You didn't go easy just so I would get here first, did you?
Of course not. Your technique must have improved so much that I simply couldn't keep up with you.
So, are we here to commemorate your short-life species friend?
Eavesdropping is a bad habit. Besides, when did I ever say he was no longer in this world?
Even the cryocapsules wouldn't be able to extend the life expectancy of a short-life species for long. If he is still alive, he must be ancient.
Yingxing is still alive?
Of course he's still alive. But he might be better off dead. Some people are born with unparalleled foresight and exceptional intelligence, but make the most ill-advised choices at destiny's crossroads. As smart as he was, he made the foolish attempt to use the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to aid in Bibiter Lunae in resurrecting his deceased companion. His stupidity turned him into a monster, cursed with immortality. His soul was shattered and became the evil that he hated most. The irony.
For an old friend, you don't seem to have that much pity.
I gave him a second chance. Does that not count?
What did you do to him?
He should have been eternally jailed in the shackling prison for his crimes. But I gave him a different kind of freedom. I took the shell that once held his soul and passed my sword techniques on to him. I let him die 100 deaths to remind him of the karma of his previous life. Afterward, I heard he was reborn and even gave himself a name. We've idled too long. Let's head to the Alchemy Commission.
I'm completely lost.
As a follower of the Rainbow Arbiter, you have witnessed the catastrophe brought upon by the plague's author, General. Living beings turning into undying monsters, eventually used as sacrifices to the Abundance. What do you think should be done to put an end to it, General?
The Alliance follows the Rainbow Arbiter's edict to continue ridding the world of evil, so that one day Yaoshi might be vanquished and the cycle of life and death restored.
Under the auspices of the Rainbow Arbiter, the faithful Cloud Knights continue the hunt. Their devotion and sacrifices are indeed commendable, but their devotedness has made them close-minded. Take me, for example. My powers originate from the Abundance, yet my goals are aligned with the Alliance. The Hunt is not the only faction in the universe that wants Yaoshi dead. It is natural for short-life species to yearn for immortality. That is expected of any intelligent life form. To want to eliminate these thoughts would be equivalent to killing an eon. Such a goal is so impossible as to be laughable, to be honest. So, in order to sever Yaoshi's curse, one must look to the source for a different solution. Your master happened upon a revelation and returned from the Mara. She has traveled many worlds and discovered a solution.
listening.
I apologize, General. I'm afraid the next move will have to be made on the Shuling.
As I expected. Your surrender is just the next step in your scheme. You wish to avail yourself of the Ten Lords' decree to enter Shuling and stand before the 6 generals, even the Marshal. That is your true agenda. And the purpose of the contents of your coffin.
General, you said it yourself. This is beyond your control. It is the law of the Alliance. We cannot deviate from it.
Splendid, well done. This was a spectacular move.
You've changed, Jingyuan. The man I knew would never have admitted he was bested.
To the Alchemy Commission. Why are we here?
I heard the healer lady is capable of curing all diseases. I'm here for the same reason anyone would be. For a checkup and consultation. Patience, young man. We're not far from Scale Gorge waterscape. The mission the General tasked you with is about to come to an end.
Are you not feeling well? Please, come this way.
Miss Bailu. She's here for a consultation.
Oh, I see. Are you here for your eyes? Or is it something else?
My eyes are fine. I cover them to avoid seeing that which reminds me of the past and riles my inner demons. My thoughts have been disordered lately, and I experience occasional night terrors. Do you have a way to soothe my mind, Dragon Lady?
Those symptoms don't sound like my area of expertise. Who cares? The healers of the Alchemy Commission don't get to pick and choose their patients. Give me your hand. We'll start by checking your pulse. You'll need to take some translucent worms so I can take a closer look. Your hand! It's freezing! Please wait. Danheng, can I speak to you for a minute? Your friend here has a very peculiar condition. Her pulse is extremely faint. Normally, this would mean that she...
There's no cure.
Let the healer make the professional diagnosis.
Thanks, Ed.
Your friend's situation is unique. She looks healthy, but her hands are cold as ice. It feels like there's a dark current running and pulsing between her core esse and her veins. I've never seen anything like it. With more research, I might be able to make a new entry in the medical records. Can you and your friend come back for follow-up visits?
Today's her last day on the Luofu.
What a shame. If she could stay for a few days, I might be able to figure out how to cure her. I'll do my best. No matter what I administer, she's gonna need to drink a ton of warm water from this point on. Come with me. I'll prescribe her some soul-returning vitality infusion. I won't cure her, but I'll... Wait! Where did my big medicine box go? I'm sorry. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were expelled, things have been a mess around here. Tanhung, you mind coming with me to retrieve my medicine? I could use your skills.
Are you in trouble, Dragon Lady? I'll come along as well.
No. No trouble at all.
It's no bother. A little walk will do me good.
I can smell the herbs. It's around... Hey! Give me back my medicine box! That thing runs so fast! Don't let it get away! There's an even bigger monster protecting this one! When did so many creatures start visiting the Alchemy Commission?
Careful.
Allow me to eliminate these obstacles, Dragon. All will be revealed. In a lunar flame.
Lance ablaze! Lance forward!
Do you know who I am? This big diamond! It's all yours! Time to twirl!
I'm soon to be departed. Later.
So this is why your hands are so cold! This cold isn't something normal flesh could withstand!
Let's settle this.
Ready for death.
Receive divinity.
How appropriate!
You chose the wrong.
What are you looking at? Time to twirl!
Lance ablaze! Lance forward!
Later. In the lunar flame.
Honored to meet me.
Lance at the ready.
Well, it took a little bit longer than expected, but it's fine.
All right, let me make sure nothing's missing. Excellent. The calming valerian and chi strengthening infusions are here. Let's head back. Never make a patient wait too long. for the delay. This prescription won't cure you, but it will nourish your body and calm your mind.
Very well. The fate of a long-life species is inevitable, even with the best doctors.
You're Mara-struck? I don't see the symptoms in you at all. What with the incident on the Lawful, I've treated a number of Mara-stricken patients recently. They all presented with signs of incoherence, delirium, or frightening physical mutations. You don't seem to have any of that.
I made a deal that allowed me to retain what life I had left in me. I may be sane, but one thing is certain. My mind is already at its limit. And yet, I still have many unfulfilled wishes and plenty of unfinished business.
I see. So you've learned to live with your illness. I can't help much with issues of the spirit, but the medical records do mention that calming the mind is a way to heal the body. If you're able to forget about the past, there might be a chance for your symptoms to regress.
Really? How unfortunate. My hatred overshadows my other emotions. I chose to hold on to it, to embrace it, and to use it to maintain my existence. All I have left are the sword in my hand and my hatred of the past. If I am without either of them, I would fall into an empty void.
Okay.
Thank you for your advice, Dragon Lady. Meeting you has provided more healing than any kind of medicine or remedy. By the way, among those you've treated in recent days, did you notice a person in bandages?
Bandages? That's a vague description, you know. I'm not sure. We get injured patients from all over the Xianzhou for treatment, and the number of injuries we see has skyrocketed since the Ambrosial Arbor crisis.
The person I'm inquiring about is tall, with a serious expression. He also carries a crude sword with him at all times. Have you seen someone like that, Dragon Lady?
Oh, yes! Someone came by today that matches that description. He must have suffered some kind of sword wound. He had a strong scent of blood, though from the way he behaved, it must have been fairly minor. He didn't even take the medicine I prescribed.
He's probably looking for a different kind of medicine.
Poor Rilo. Oh. How confused I am what's going on with all these weird people.
Well then, it would seem that everything is in place. Let's go meet our old friend. Take this man away. This does not involve him.
The last loading screen was just Enigma, and I mean, she doesn't seem like a follower of the hunt, a follower of destruction or reminiscence. She seems like a follower of Enigma.
present. I never thought the High Cloud Quintet would be able to gather again in the same place after hundreds of years. If I remember correctly, the 5 of us made a promise here 7 centuries ago. We promised that no matter what happened, we would gather here together and share a drink. How sad that Scale Gorge waterscape remains empty while the world continues to turn. Some of us have been reborn, while others were denied death. Some have become criminals, while others can no longer fulfill their promises. And in the end, our friendship is no more. Soon, I will be shackled and tried. This will be the last you see of me. This is why I sent out the invitations before departing, hoping that everyone would be gathered here for my final farewell. Of 5 people, 3 must pay a price. Imbibitor Lunae, the chief culprit, chose to use the transmutation arcanum as a means of resurrection, begetting terrible transformation and great calamity in the process. He dishonored the name of the fallen. The accomplice, arrogant and oblivious, used the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to assist Imbibitor Lunae in his evil. He fell, becoming an immortal abomination. As for Jing Liu, the sinner, she succumbed to Mara, slaughtered her people, and abandoned her oath. Now it is time we pay for what we have done. Dan Heng, you can never escape the shadow of Imbibitor Lunae. He is your origin, and his sins will accompany you in your path forward until you meet your eventual doom. Blade, what a fitting name. In the remainder of your infinite life, you will experience only murder and your own death, all the while pleading for a place to rest. This is the only way you are able to relinquish Ying Sing's regrets. Face the punishment of the Alliance and suffer an eternal punishment before paying an even worse price. That is the only way to keep the memory of the pain of the past from fading away. High Cloud Quintet, it is time to say goodbye.
From being a follower of Enigma, she became a drama queen.
A wineless gathering, accompanied by only sadness and bitterness. What a depressing reunion.
Something that is a little bit interesting here is that Blade is technically bitter and holds a grudge against Lune and against Tanhan. But after all, it was him who actually made the final atrocities, pretty much. I mean, Lune was the one that pushed him, right? But after all, it was his own arrogance that hurt him, pretty much. And also, it was his arrogance what made the fall of all of them, pretty much. This is interesting because, I mean, it is usually that thing that happens, right? When everything falls apart in your life, you just like blame others, and it's like this thing that is kind of being played.
Jing Yuan, is it not time you sent me to the Shuling?
The laws of the Alliance cannot be subject to change. Unfortunately, your next stop will be the Yuche.
I have no idea.
I reported everything to the Marshal, and the Seer strategist just so happened to take an interest in the case. They set up a Deca-light reflection barrier in hopes of meeting the two of you beforehand.
So the Marshal is someone that is superior to Jingdra, or I'm still lost in the bureaucracy of the Xianzhou. I mean, like for example, here in the Lofu, you have the Vidyahara, you have the Xianzhou and natives, and you have the Foxians. I still do not understand if that's like why it's the Triple Alliance. If it's like those three species coming together against the abundance, something like that. And if it's like that, does that mean that technically the three species are through all of the Xianzhou and not only the Lofu? Because I mean, literally here in the Lofu you have like this sanctuary of the Vidyahara. So like, were there other things the Vidyahara gave away on the other ships, or how does that work? And if that's the case, like for example, this tells that, like for example, all of the generals are still like bound together by some type of decree and some higher authority, and I really do not understand how it's like the division of power between like the generals, the Ten Lord Commandment, the arbiters, and the Marshal. I'm lost in the. I'm lost in the Xianzhou light.
Jing Yuan, you haven't changed at all. Always trying to destroy the plans of others. But in the end, whether it be you, me, the Cloud Knights, or the generals of the Rainbow Arbiter, we are all just pawns in a game of the gods. I am sick and tired of treading on a predetermined path. No matter, I will deviate if you insist, but this does not change how things will end. Ultimately, I will stand on the side of victory.
Then I shall see this gamble through.
Wait. Jingliu, before you leave, you still owe me my due.
I have tried. Besides inflicting more wounds on your body, there is nothing else I can do for you. The immortality that you possess is not something that can be dealt with so easily. I am sure Destiny's slave already told you that the swords of mortals are incapable of killing someone with the flesh of an emanator.
Here they forgot to actually put like the it's not Furigana, but like the explanation in there. So this would be Elio, right?
He did. But you still owe me the attempt.
Told you when I taught you the way of the sword. I am uninterested in drawing my blade against someone who does not long for life, who wants only to be slaughtered.
You will only draw against an opponent. Jingliu, allow me to repay you for your teachings.
Savor the moment. I will deliver you a brief moment of death.
Oh, there are 5.
A familiar feeling. Almost as if we've returned to my first sword lesson. You use the sword Insing crafted, and pierced, sliced, and impaled me time and time again. The swordplay used to slay our enemies of old is still engraved on this despicable shell. All I can do is watch my flesh become severed, healed, and restored. It's as if they're saying, Why did you and Imbibitor Lunae commit such an unforgivable sin? I know that you have no interest in my answer, which is why I asked the question as you looked me straight in the eye. I've asked myself that same question infinite times, but was never able to find the answer. Why is it that only the abominations can return time and time again?
Oh, so they remember her.
Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash, and eventually forgotten? Why? In the end, you unleashed the final piercing blow and left both me and the sword in the withered grave. The miraculous thing is that in my brief moment of death, all the pain went away. Like when we drank to drown our sorrows.
Imbibitor Lunae, what do you plan on doing next?
Once this gathering ends, I will return to the Express to continue my journey.
The Express won't be able to carry you forever. Your friends all have burdens of their own, just as we did back then. I did think about giving up on revenge and letting go of everything when I fled the Lawfu years ago. However, as time passed, it became more and more clear. It was like an old friend that accompanied me every passing day, always nagging in my ear. The memories of what I did when I was Mara-struck are deeply rooted. Since I am unable to rid myself of them, I decided to face them head-on in the end. Maybe when I witness the fall of the abundance, you and Ying Sing will find true release. Goodbye, Imbibitor Lunae.
She's gone. All this must have seemed like a silly performance to someone newly reborn. I am unable to prevent my old friends from taking sides against one another. Who you are is a question that only you can find the answer to. Even if the Preceptor's interference denied you a true rebirth. Yes, it has been a long day for you, Don Hung.
With her sword either. She still couldn't do it. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. This is the price the two of us must pay.
I will see it through.
Elio's script still requires you to stay alive. For now. I don't mind prolonging my vengeance. It might be more interesting that way.
Don Hung, the General wants me to forget about everything I saw today. I understand. These disputes are far too complicated for me right now. Swordplay is a lot simpler. I have some close friends of my own in the Cloud Knights. Will we fall out the way you guys did? Goodbye for now, Don Hung. I hope the next time we meet, it'll be under happier circumstances.
But isn't this like the companion mission for Jingyu? So now Jingyu should be like in the Astro Express? Maybe, but not now. Okay, so this was way more profound than expected. I thought that night scene was more personal and not like something so elaborated. So yeah, I mean, it's way more elaborated. But that also means that it was longer than expected. So I'm going to end it for now. And well, a lot of thanks for passing by, and we'll see on the next one. Bye.